Hello world, and we are back. My name's Kyle Fischl. This is going to be episode 38 of my poker vlog, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about exploitative play. I myself play a very exploitative style of poker. I pay very close attention to my opponent's tendencies, and then I work out ways to use it against them, as you will see in the hands I'm going to talk about. I wouldn't recommend doing some of the moves I do without really understanding the player type and gathering a lot of information before you try these things, but we're going to talk about them anyway. So for the first interesting hand, an early position player makes it $20. There's 4 limpers to me. I'm in the big blind with ace-6 of diamonds. Now this is actually an okay candidate to 3-bet. However, to be able to do it, you're basically doing it as a bluff. Whenever you get called, you're going to have 30% equity at best, and the size you'd have to do to 3-bet is closer to $140, $150 if you want any folds. So with all that being said, and the fact that it's suited, it plays pretty decently multi-way, I choose to call, and we go 6 ways to a flop, and the flop is ace high, 2 diamonds. Couldn't ask for a better one unless I straight up flop it, but we will take that a lot. Now in the big blind, there's a lot of merit to just leading out, building the pot, maybe something small, maybe like 25 or something of that nature. My reason that I think that's a bad idea is especially as there's an early position pre-flop raiser and several callers, any hand that calls you is likely an ace with a better kicker, which means you have to hit your flush anyway. I think a pot controlling check is pretty good here. At the time, I was already considering, as I was checking around, whether I was going to check raise or not, because I have such a strong hand, at least by the river, I'm likely going to be the best, even with backdoor straight draws available. I have a good hand. But to my surprise, it checks all the way through. Now I actually think my pair of aces is good here. The turn is the 8 of diamonds.
Oh my god.
So we get there immediately. Not gonna let this one check through a second time. I bet really small, $25. The goal of this, I have a very aggressive player 2 to my left, and the pre-flop aggressor is very aggressive as well. And I think a small sizing here could actually induce a raise a decent amount of the time, but if not, if it's just a call, it's likely going to get 4, maybe 3 or 4 calls. So the sizing isn't with the nuts. It's meant to induce a raise or gather several callers, all drawing extremely thin, if not dead. Well, only 2 players call. The river is the queen of hearts, so it's a blank. Now question is, what is a good sizing? I go small again because I'm not sure exactly what can call me here. Ace queen, definitely gonna call. Maybe some straights are played super weird, but baby flushes call. Could even get a raise. But I only make it $80, definitely small for the size of the pot, and the player 2 to my left is an aggressive reg. He's very quiet, doesn't talk a whole lot, but he sizes up when he has a hand. In this hand, he chooses to light $325 on fire. Fantastic sight for me. As I have the nuts, I literally blocked the straight flush with having the 6 of diamonds, ironically. Now with my stack size, the sizing I choose, I'd actually like a comment on what you all do with this bet. It's quite big, and I think this opponent sets himself up very good to raise fold anything with whatever hand he has, because he sized it in a way that I can't really re-raise credibly. I have about 950 to 1K in my stack at that point. A jam is a $700 raise. I kind of really want a crying call from a worse flush or straight. I think an almost min click back might get a call, so I make it 625. He thinks about it for a bit, but then folds. Claims he had the king high flush. Like I said, knows anything that I'm gonna re-raise the nuts. Good on him for being able to get away from it. Some people would feel pot committed and put a disbelieving call in there, but next interesting hand. The opponent in this hand is the tightest opponent in all of Orange City. They're so tight, they're like...
Brace yourself. Suck it in. Squeeze those cheeks, sister. Suck it in. Come on, work with me.
Literally. Like, he's played 4 hands in the last 4 hours, and they were jacks, queens, and aces. Only 4 hands I've seen this guy play in 4 hours. So, he usually has it. So when he's in early position, he makes it 20, and there's 3 callers to me. I look down at pocket kings, and I honestly have a really bad feeling about it. I'm already feeling bad. I'm in the cutoff, but either way, I'm not just calling here. Gotta at least 3-bet, see how the hand develops. I make it 80, folds all the way to the pre-flop aggressor, who makes it 200. So the tightest player on earth has just 4-bet me, and I have kings. It folds to me. With the exact price I'm getting, 120 to call, 340 in the pot, almost 3 to 1. I think my hand is good enough with some additional implied odds to spike a king, and based on his stack size, could theoretically get a full $1,400 double up. So for those reasons, I'm definitely gonna peel one. There's also, you know, some straighty flushy boards that I could get, but when the flop comes, deuce 3-6, he begins to assemble a bet of like $300-ish. And I snap fold face up before he even puts it in there. The whole table was like kind of shocked because I actually folded my cards before he even moved it in there. Like I said, he's so tight. How could he ever not have it? He's tighter than...
Oh! How's that?
I can't breathe.
Very, very respectful to the play and actually does show me pocket aces. Definitely an exploitative fold there. There's not too many players that I'm just going to open fold kings to. Not too many. This one is one of them. Most people would say never fold kings, just get it in, let it go, see what happens. But I think when I can confidently put my opponent on a hand, I think it's not that hard to get away from. And that's why I was able to do it. I was actually right this time. He did show me, so I was nice of him. Next interesting hand. With 3 limpers to me, I'm on the button with Jack Queen offsuit. I'm going to raise this up because punish the limpers. I have a good hand that I'm willing to play. So I make a 25. All 3 players call. Blinds fold. So we're going 4 ways to a flop, which comes King Jack 9 rainbow. So I'm already preparing to c-bet this board, as I should have the best hand some percentage of the time, not always, but I should sometimes. Before that happens, the player to my direct right in the cutoff, he chooses to lead into me for 50. The old Donk League by an OMC. At this point, I've seen him do this 3 or 4 times with just top pair. He was never really punished for it. People sometimes called him down and he just had top pair, no kicker. Sometimes he just got a fold when he just donk led the flop. So I'm not too impressed by this bet.
I just decided, you know, I don't care about the money. I'm just going to outplay the guy. I'm just going to outplay this guy this hand.
And I'm not gonna let this one go through. I think I have the perfect hand to just run him down.
Give back my bag! Oh, man! I'm gonna rip your head off! Your ass is mine!
So I assemble a bet of $180. I actually meant to do $155, but I accidentally grabbed 1 extra green chip than I anticipated. So slight misclick, but I say this because I think when I size that high, it looks more heavily towards a bluff and he might be more willing to call. Whereas 155, I think actually looks a little bit more value-y and I think I get a fold there more often. So I did not like that I accidentally misclicked that a little higher. Is what it is. Folds back to him and he takes like a minute before calling. Looks kind of weak. Turn is an offsuit 4, full rainbow. You know, I started with a raised bluff, and just because I got 1 call, 1 little hiccup in the rundown.
Holy Christ! Now I'm pissed!
I'm not going to give up. I think I have definitely pinpointed this guy to a 1-pair, top pair type hand, and I think he will fold for $260. He thinks for quite a bit of time and actually assembles the bet and has it in his hand, to which I'm not happy about. I'm thinking I need a 10 or jack or a queen to spike a winner at this point, but he does eventually fold and he shows 1 king as his cards go into the muck, and I show Queen Jack on my cards way into the muck.
Holy smokes! Yeah! That was nice!
Definitely an exploitative bluff raise. I really think that this opponent always had one pair there. Never thinks he can really call a raise and a continuation bet to a raise when he has no kicker. If you're not going to mix up your betting sizes or your styles with hands, you're going to get some people watching who are going to be able to exploit your tendencies and, make some money off of it. Yeah, the bluff raise continuation bet, it worked this time. Final hand with 3 limpers to me. I'm on the button. I make it 20 because I want at least one person in there. I think it's better if someone calls at least. Well, the small blind calls. Big blind makes it 80.
Damn, little lady.
Folds back to me. Now, this is the same opponent from the ace-6 hand where we're flush over flush. So he definitely has the ability to call larger size bets and make larger size bets. So I'm going to go really big with this 3-bet, in my opinion. I make it 220. As for a quick meta reason as well, I had exactly 2 black chips on top of my stack. As soon as it got to me, just quickly grabbed them and threw it in. Wanted it to look as spewy and just unthought-worthy as I possibly could to maybe get a call from some kind of weak ace or maybe a pocket pair of like 10s, 9s, 8s. Something that's just not believing, thinks that I'm just, clicking it back with ace-king or something like that. Well, small blind folds, he thinks for a bit and then calls. The flop is 10-7-5, so it's actually a pretty good board for me as even jacks might be inclined to call a bet on the flop if they think that I, miss with ace-king will continue. He checks to me. I choose a sizing of 300. Don't really know what's a correct size. I just go for a medium-ish size, half pot, a little bit more. He pretty quickly jams all in, like almost snap jams all in. And I'm in a lot of pain at this point. I think that he has pocket 10s here most of the time. Don't really know what else he can have, but I can't get away from it, so I call. And he has pocket kings. So we get a safe run out and we stack him for a decent sized pot. So that is the moral of the story for this session. If I call with my kings into aces, I don't make any profit, but I was able to do an exploitative fold to be able to, get away from a massive cooler. And then when the shoe was on the other foot, I got to benefit from a massive cooler, as well as some fun little cheeky bluffs along the way and some made hands. For that session, I was in the game for $1,100. Out of the game for $1,982 for a total profit of $882 there for 7 hours, which equates to $126 an hour and 25.2 big blinds an hour. So sticking to that 100 plus good big blind an hour ratio, and things are going pretty well. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If there was a hand you found interesting or wanted more clarification or even a suggestion about how it could have been played better, please leave a comment below, as I do read them all and I try to get back to nearly everyone. So thank you for watching. There'll be more to come.